What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the extremely highly anticipated Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught, the leader of the Decepticon force known as the Combaticons. And if you're not aware of the Combaticons, long story short, basically they were a group of rebel Decepticons who rebelled against Megatron, and then he saw it fit to seal their sparks on Cybertron. Starscream in his infinite wisdom, trying to take over the Decepticons for the billionth time, went to Cybertron, took their sparks, chucked them in some Earth vehicles, and tried to take over the Decepticons using them. In the ensuing conflict, Devastator fought the combiner that these guys combined into, known as Bruticus, and then in an ensuing scuffle, the Stunticons came out, decided to side with Megatron instead of Starscream, and then they ended up beating up Starscream, and then Starscream once again failed at taking over the Decepticons for himself. And so here we are with their leader, Onslaught. And so I'm really excited because from what I've seen for the reviews, what I've seen online about this guy is that he's honestly close to Figure of the Year material. He's a really, really great Onslaught, and from what I've seen, the best Onslaught that we've ever seen in the main line. And so taking a look at the box here, you can obviously see the very nice Transformers Age of the Primes. You can see the Combaticon Onslaught there. You can obviously see the nice artwork there of Onslaught on the front. He's obviously technically 4 or 5 because we are waiting for Swindles, the last one. We then have some nice artwork of Bruticus as he appeared on the side. Has some more nice artwork here of the Age of the Primes as you see on the side here, and then you have your obligatory product shots. Obviously, just like Silverbolt, just like Motormaster, he is the skeleton, which is really, really cool for him because I think, I'll be honest with you, this is probably the best integrated of the combiners in terms of the skeletons. I think in terms of the commander class figures that got, like, you know, the skeletons within them, I honestly think that from best to last, it's best to worst, excuse me, it's Onslaught, Motormaster, and then it's Silverbolt in terms of how the skeleton is integrated into, like, their vehicle modes and stuff like that. This is just really cool. You can see the very cool product shots in general. And so when it comes to the packaging, I think they did a fantastic job, folks. And so without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught out of the box and in his vehicle mode. And guys, I gotta say, this is awesome. So when you compare it to how he appeared in the show, it's perfect because he was essentially like an artillery truck, I guess you wanted to say it. He's essentially kind of like a pickup truck, a military-style pickup truck with a bunch of artillery guns on the back of the truck. And so when we're looking at the G1 model, we're looking at this, I think they did a fantastic job of integrating the skeleton and integrating it into, you know, the vehicle mode in and of itself. I also think when it comes to this guy's size, he is huge. Like, he is really, really long. He's almost as long as I did my last review on Grimlock, the Titan class Grimlock from Age of Extinction. This guy's almost as long as Grimlock is in his Dino mode. He's really, really long. And so, taking a look at the details here, you can take a look at Onslaught himself. We'll take a look at Onslaught alone here in a second, but you can see the very nice silver there. The wheels are in mushroom pegs, so they roll well, even though those kind of look ugly. These ones are just on pins, so these roll nicely though, but these are really good. The turret looks really good on the back right here. And then this whole trailer is huge. I mean, you can see, I'm just going to bring it in real quick because I'm just going to show it off. Here is a Brawl. We have Brawl right here, so you can just chuck him on the back. That's how big this trailer is. He's a lot bigger than he appears, especially in pictures and stuff like that. This is a figure that I think the size can definitely deceive you, and we have Blast Off here, so we can just chuck Blast Off on there instead of Brawl. But you can see how big this guy actually is. He's quite a large vehicle mode. And when it comes to the actual turret part, if we set everyone off to the side here, the turret part is pretty cool. So if you just lift this up and then you lift it up, you can then push it back down, and then this whole thing rotates like a tank turret. So that's really cool. So you can get some cool stuff here. You can even have another transformer here on the back if you really wanted to, like manning the turret if you wanted to. But to push it back down, you just lift this up, push this back down, and then you just fold that back down, and there you have the turret back to how it is. But what we're going to do this review, just like I did with Silverbolt, we will do like I do a regular review for most regular figures. But at the end of the review, what I'll do is I'll end up transforming this guy into the skeleton to give you guys a preview of Bruticus, because I'm going to tell you, just like many people have been saying, this is really looking up to be the best of the combiners that we've gotten thus far, and I'm very inclined to agree now that I have 80% of Bruticus here. So Really, really exciting overall. But yeah, when it comes to the trailer, again, at the end, we're going to show you how to transform him into the skeleton of Bruticus, but I'm not going to attach anything. We'll save that for the full Bruticus review, just like I did for the full Superion review. But what we're going to do is to attach the trailer, you're going to untab this here. It just goes into these little two tab slots. You can see right there, you can see these two tabs will go into those slots. We're going to take this entire trailer section, and we're going to set it off to the side, or the artillery section, and we're going to take a look at just Onslaught as a whole. Now, when it comes to Onslaught as a whole, I'll say it's a really solid vehicle mode. The only kind of issue that I have with this guy, whoops, and sorry for knocking the camera there. The only issue I have with this guy is kind of this midsection here. It kind of looks awkward. Other than that, though, what I will tell you about this guy, and including the actual trailer itself, very dense. This guy is very hefty. Very, very dense, very hefty, and that's one thing I can appreciate. Probably the best part about this figure, in my opinion, is how hefty this guy feels. He feels really dense, really good plastic quality all around. Like I showed you in the details, I mean, he rolls just fine, just like the trailer rolls just fine. Nice details, but there really wasn't that much to Onslaught's actual vehicle mode, so there's really not much to this one. Again, my only major issue is this part, but again, he just feels really good, and he's nice and compact and very clean. So when it comes to his vehicle mode, I have no major complaints with it besides this little section here, but he's just pretty nice overall. Nothing really crazy about him. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our vehicle mode size comparison. So we are going to set Onslaught off to the side there. Here he is with the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. The Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnius. The Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Blastoff. The Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Vortex. The Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager Class Brawl. The Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager Class Skywarp. The Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. And here he is with his leader, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Megatron. Alrighty guys, so the first thing we're going to transform actually instead of Onslaught himself is we are going to be transforming the entire trailer section or the turret section into a mobile, defense base. It's really not that difficult. It's pretty cool actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to first rotate those and, well, just pull those back on those tabs. Then you're going to take these two sections here on the bottom and you're just going to remove them. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to untab this, and then you can untab and rotate it up like so. And then you're going to take this whole section and rotate it all the way around. Then you're going to fold this out, and you see this little tab slot here. That tab will go into that, and that'll snap into place like so. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate this like so. You're going to take these sections, you're going to fold them down. You're then going to rotate them on this other joint right here, and then you're going to fold these both down, and then from here, make sure you do that one more time. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to take these sections, you're going to split them. You're going to, you don't have to rotate the fists yet. But what you're going to do, you see that there's a little tab here, there's another tab here. These will go into this tab and into this tab right here. So you're just going to, oh, whoops, other side, my bad. Like this, and like that. Then from here, you're going to do the same thing. Just tap that into place like so. And well, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the mobile base fully transformed. And it does look pretty cool. I think out of all of the mobile bases that we've gotten thus far, this is probably the best one. Because in my opinion, Silverbolt's looked lame. And it looked like a jumbled mess, in my opinion, now that you look back on it. And I don't even remember if Motormaster really had one, and if he did, it wasn't significant enough for me to care, and if it was any good, I honestly, this one just looks the cleanest so far. I think what they've done with this combiner, I'll tell you this much, is that they've found all the mistakes that they've made with the previous ones. Not that the previous ones were bad, they're still fantastic, but I think they found the mistakes that they made with the previous ones, and have really, knuckled down and tried their way to make this guy feel better than the other ones, and that absolutely shows. But yeah, mobile turret base looks cool. Obviously, you can put another Decepticon on here. You can still have like Blastoff on here or something. That's how big this is. And then you can obviously have Onslaught here manning the back, or another Decepticon like Megatron or something like that. Just very cool. Nothing too crazy. But it just works. And for me, when you're theming Onslaught as a character, I just think that a mobile base works better for him. Like, I think about Silverbolt, I'm like, the mobile base is, like, cool, but no one's going to use it anyway. But this is a legitimate, like, Onslaught is a character where his car is literally, his alt mode is literally an artillery truck. So this just, right, this just makes sense thematically. But overall, nothing too crazy. So what we're going to do is we are going to get Onslaught back here. So just so you guys know, we will absolutely bring that, mobile base back in when we get Onslaught back into his, when you get him into his robot mode. But speaking of robot mode, let's get into his transformation. And this is where this figure actually genuinely surprises me. This guy is incredibly simple to transform. There's nothing crazy about this guy. So first things first, you're going to come here and you're going to untab these sections and just rotate them down. You're going to take these sections and rotate them up, like so. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to untab this entire section, and you kind of have to fold it up like so, and then you have to push it up, and then you accordion it like so, and then this will all tab back into place like so. And then what you're going to want to do is just push this back because this whole section lifts up because of the Bruticus heads in there. And then you'll see that there's a little tab hole on the back. There's a little tab slot right there. You just tab that all into place. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take this entire back section, you're going to untab what will become the feet, and then all you have to do is just untab these sections, and then rotate this all the way around like this. And then the legs are simple. You just close these back up, and then you just fold the feet down, kind of like Silverbolt, like that, and then you fold them down like that, fold it down like that. And then from here, just going to rotate the arms around, rotate them down, rotate them all the way around, and then just fold the fists out. Like that. Do the same on this side. Like so. Take all the way around. And then just fold the fist out. And I'm not joking, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught in his absolutely freaking amazing looking robot mode. And guys, we're going to set this guy up to the side here. We're going to put the G1 cartoon model of him. Man, guys, they just like nailed this guy. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with Onslaught here. All that plastic density also carries over here, obviously, which is no surprise. Actually, the one part I forgot, sorry. There's a little tab in there. There's a tab slot there, and then you just snap that into place. And then you just push that up and just lean against there. Better. But regardless, you guys see how crazy this guy looks in comparison to his G1 model. He is almost one-to-one, and I absolutely love it. And again, like I said, that plastic quality and that density really carries over here, and he just feels so freaking good. And we'll take a look at the details here. Look at that head sculpt. It is Onslaught if Onslaught could be Onslaught. Like, that is the most Onslaught head sculpt ever. The yellow contrasts really well with all this dark navy blue. The silver looks really good. He's just clean, man. And the joints are super tight as well. Like, he is just fantastic. And then you got the nice Decepticon logo. Nice detail across the board. He's just clean as hell. And even the backpack is just, like, look at that, guys. He's so clean. I absolutely love how this guy looks. They just nailed him. Maybe the heels are a little bit bigger, but I don't care for his stability. It looks fine from the front. Also, the green's a nice touch to break up all this blue. The only major issue I have with his robot mode, there's only one, and it's not that big of an issue, but it is annoying. These bits do not rotate, and that's pretty much what everyone is saying is their biggest bother with the robot mode. But other than that, though, he's amazing. I wish they could rotate, because especially when you're transforming this guy into his, like, combined mode, it's kind of annoying to do that. They kind of get in the way, and if you kind of move things out of the way, if you don't move things out of the way, they kind of just knock into everything. I just wish you could rotate them, like, so that this part was, like, facing the back, the whole long way. Like, if you could rotate it like this, right? But yeah, other than that, though, he's simply amazing looking. By far, in my opinion, the best looking mainline Onslaught, and honestly the best mainline Onslaught in reference to the G1 cartoon that we've really ever gotten. I have no major complaints with how this guy is, besides those stupid little the wheels on his inner of his forearms that can't rotate. I guess the other thing, he doesn't come with a gun. I wish he came with a gun. I mean, you guys are charging $90 for this guy. Give him a singular gun would have been nice, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. So what we're gonna do is we are going to set this guy off to the side here, and just rotate his head here, and then we're going to lift the camera a bit, because I think Prime and Megatron are a tad bit taller than this guy, which is, very accurate, and we are going to be doing our size comparisons. Here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnius, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee, the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Blastoff, the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Vortex, the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager Class Brawl, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager Class Skywarp, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime, and finally his leader, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Megatron. Alrighty, folks. Now, when it comes to his size, I will say this much. In general, I think he's just a lot bigger than we expected him to be. Obviously, that kind of came with the trend with Silverbolt as well. But at the end of the day, I was not expecting him to be nearly as tall as like Commander Class Prime and almost as tall as Megatron. But when you're looking at it overall, I think that this fits really well. I think Onslaught as a character should be that big. And honestly, if it's not accurate to the Geo1, screw that. I don't care. I think it fits very well for this character. So, next thing we're going to take a look at is the articulation. So when it comes to the articulation, he's a teeny bit lacking, but not really all that much. It's just like he doesn't have any wrist articulation, and you kind of expect that for most Commander class figures these days, especially considering Optimus had it, but regardless, it's not that bad. So head's on a ball joint. It can actually go up and down a little bit more because of that little, joint there, but you can do a full 360 here at the head. You can look up and down, a little bit of wiggle waggle, full 360 at the shoulders, out in a 90 at the elbow, rotation at the upper part of the elbow. Waist is a full 360. You can these panels will fold forward. You can kick forward. You can kick back. Nice ratchets as well. More than 90 at the knee, rotation at the upper part of the thigh, and then some nice ankle rocker pivots. So you can get this guy into some really good poses overall. Again, just the lack of wrist articulation and opening and closing fists is a little bit annoying, but overall, I have no major complaints with this guy's articulation. Alrighty, now it's time to just sort of show the way that he integrates with the mobile base. So what you can do is we'll set this guy up to the back here. Sorry about that, folks. There's the mobile base. I had accidentally dropped it. I knocked it off of my freaking review station, but not too bad. So if you set that off to the back here, what you can do here is you can get Onslaught to actually hold these little tabs here on the side. So just gotta. Alright, it's not quite in there, but you can see this is the idea, right? And it looks really, really cool. Overall, again, I think for Onslaught, this just kind of fits and it just ends up working. So, when it comes to everything, I think he's really cool. Again, my major issue is just that he doesn't come with his own personal gun. All the Combaticons already come with it. So, the fact that he doesn't come with one with what we're given with him is a little bit of a shame. But overall, nothing too terrible. So, yeah, I think this is pretty nice. Alrighty, so time for the reverse transformation. So very simple, we're going to start off with the mobile base. So we're going to come in here, we're going to remove these, we're going to attach them together, and then we can just set that off to the side for the time being. Flip these up, then we can just fold this section down, fold these parts down, rotate this section on this, and then tab those little silver bits. Then rotate this all the way around, and then all you have to do is come here to the bottom, and then we can come in here and then tab it like this. Then fold these back down, and then we can just reattach this. It's not a big deal. Just reattach this, fold this up, fold that back down like so. Take this section and lift it up, and there we have this section here. So what we're going to do is just kind of put this off to the side for now. And then we're going to bring in Onslaught. So just straighten them all out. Again, very simple transformation, nothing too crazy. So what we're going to do here, we're going to fold these bits in, fold these bits out, snap these together, fold the feet up as well, and then from here what we can do is we can take the hands, we are going to fold them in, we're going to rotate this all the way around, then fold this up, rotate this up and around, and then you can fold it up like this. Do the same here. We're just going to leave it there. So again, fold the hand in, do this, rotate this all the way around, then just rotate this up and start to accordion it up like this. Come here to the back, untab this section here, then what you're going to do is untab that, rotate this and accordion this section up, and then you have to do something finagly like you did before. So do this like that. Then from here, you're going to take these sections, rotate them in like so. You're going to take this, and then you have a couple of tabs here, so you're just going to try and tab everything together and make sure that this is pushed down as well, like that. Then all you got to do, take this section, rotate it all the way around, then rotate these, snap them back into place like so, and then all you got to do is reattach the trailer like I showed you earlier in the review with those two tabs. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught back in his vehicle mode. Alrighty folks, and just like I told you, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to get him into Bruticus. And it's not, we're not attaching Vortex, Blast Off, and Brawl. We're not going to do that. I'm just showing you the skeleton in general, just like I did with Superion, just so you guys can get a preview of what Bruticus is going to look like, because man, this guy already looks fantastic. So what I would recommend is you get Onslaught back into his robot mode. So what you're going to do is very simple. Actually, it's not too bad. Very similar to Silverbolt though. So what you're going to do, you're going to flip the fists in. You're going to just rotate these back back up and around for the most part, and then just make sure that these are rotated like so. You can actually rotate them whichever way you want. I just like to make it so that the wheels are facing outward here, and then the legs is where it gets a bit funky, but you're going to untab this section, rotate this back. You're going to put Onslaught's head all the way in. You're then going to flip up Bruticus's head. Then you're going to reattach everything like normal. Tab that back into place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this section and you're going to just lift it up like so. Then for the legs, this is where it gets pretty cool. So what you're going to do is for one leg, I'll show you what to do. So you're going to, I like to lift this up. You're going to lift this up and around, and then you're going to bend it forward, and then you're going to bend it again. And what you're going to do is you're going to open up this section. You're going to flip this in, and then what you're going to do is you're essentially going to like rotate this all the way in like so, fold this up, fold this green bit in like so, and then just rotate it up, and then that little tab slot will go into that tab, and then you just sort of do your best here to reattach that. So we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Attach everything like this, and then now what I would recommend is you keep the trailer in the trailer mode. So first thing we're going to do, untab these, then we're going to untab these sections as well. Now what I like to do, untab these, then now you're supposed to attach blast off and vortex to each one of these, but if you want to just snap them up like this, then accordion them like so, very quickly, like this. Rotate the fist around and then do that and fold this in, and it should look like this. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same for this one. So again, just snap, rotate. Alright, now we have both of the arms, so we'll set those off to the side here. Then to do the legs here, very simple. What we're going to do is we're going to accordion all of this down and fold these bits down as well. You're going to split this section. What you're going to do, fold these down, fold these bits up here on the back. You're going to take this section, fold it back down, and then do this on both sides. Then from here, you're going to rotate them all the way around. Then you're going to take this section, rotate it around. You're going to lift this section up, fold it up, lift it up like so. Fold these bits out. Oops. Sorry about that. Completely missing the mark there. So I initially had it like this. So fold this up, and then these sections are folded in. So you want to fold these up, fold this section out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this section and then you're going to attach it in here. And this is a little bit of a finagle. I never am able to get this super easy, but there, then this section will just attach in like so. You'll then take this section. You'll see here that there is a tab right there, and there's a little hole in there. Accordion all this up like so. Fold this back down like that. And you can position those arms however way you want them to. And then all you got to do is just attach and attach. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have essentially like a decent bit of Bruticus completely made. So there is what your skeleton looks like. And one opinion I'll give right off the bat that I definitely kind of regret saying when I initially saw this guy in pictures is I kind of thought he was a little squat, but maybe it was the pictures that weren't doing him justice. But I got to tell you guys, this guy really is shaping up to be the best of the combiners that we've gotten thus far. He looks already fantastic, and we don't have any of the other Transformers other the Combaticons attached to him. So really, really awesome from Hasbro's part, because this guy, I am so excited to get Swindle. I really just want to complete this guy and get the review for Bruticus out to you guys, because, man, I love this guy. And so, guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught, as one of the most highly anticipated figures of the year, not only considering the fact that he is, Onslaught himself and the leader of the Combaticons, but the fact that he comes with the Bruticus skeleton, this figure had to really make it, absolutely nail it, and for the most part, they pretty much did. I don't really see very many detriments with this guy. If I had to name a couple, definitely the fact that his little wheels can't rotate on the front on the inner part of his forearms is a bit annoying. He doesn't come with his own gun, but other than that, everything else is so good. So let's talk about the vehicle mode for starters. It's huge, it's imposing, it's Onslaught, very dense plastic, very nice quality. It just feels really, really, really good to handle, and it's so, like, like, this is the plastic quality and the density I would expect from a figure like this. In addition to that, the actual turret itself, like the trailer, the turret, is very nice. The only major issue I have with it is the stupid turret part is a little loose, and it's not easy to get Onslaught's hands onto it when you get him into robot mode, but it does look great, and it represents the G1 cartoon simply fantastically, and I do love the blue. I like the little bits of green, the silver. It just looks clean. It's nothing special because Onslaught is a military vehicle, and there's nothing, like, crazy in terms of, like, very flashy about military vehicles. They're military vehicles, so their function over looks. And so when it comes to this guy, that's absolutely true here. Next thing too, when you get to the transformation, I kind of like how it's so simple, despite the fact that most commander class transformations and even leader class transformations, specifically with G1, with Optimus and with like Megatron, they're pretty complicated. But this guy didn't need to be complicated. It's one of those things where I think simplicity wins, and simplicity absolutely won here because it results in a fantastic looking robot mode for Onslaught in and of himself. The other thing too is that I think his articulation is really solid. I think like despite the fact that he doesn't come with any wrist articulation or any opening or closing fists, I still think you can get him into some pretty awesome poses. Overall is really, really solid. I also think that his looks in general are amazing. He's nearly one-to-one with his G1 counterpart. A couple of, small things, but overall, I'm really happy with it. He looks fantastic next to all of his other Transformers, his fellow Combaticons, his fellow Decepticons, Optimus, Bumblebee, all the other Autobots. He just looks really, really good. And then finally, transforming him into the turret mode for the mobile base. I think it's probably the best mobile base that we've ever gotten. It just fits Onslaught as a character, being a military vehicle, right? It just makes sense to have a mobile turret for a military-focused, subgroup of Decepticons. And finally, I will talk about getting him into Bruticus. It's really nice. I really like how all that just trailer is what you see on screen right now, what you're looking at. Literally, that trailer is everything that you see plus Onslaught, and it's really cool. Very simple transformation to get him into the Bruticus mode. It's just really well done, and I don't have many major issues with this in general. He just looks great, and I cannot wait to get Swindle and get the full review out. So when it comes to Onslaught as a whole, if I had to rate him out of a 10, guys, I hate saying this. I mean, I'm going to do it. 10 out of 10, guys. Again, my 10 out of 10s are not perfect figures, but it's one of those figures where I will put him up against any figure within that category, within, the skeleton category, within, commander class territory. He is just a simply fantastic figure, and so far is contender for me for figure of the year. I'm really loving this. I cannot wait again to get Swindle. I can't contain my excitement. I've told it to you guys 3 times in the past 4 minutes already. So really, really amazing figure, and would highly recommend picking him up even for the commander class price point, because what you get is just quality. It's just really nice. Hasbro, you absolutely smashed it out of the park, and I cannot wait to see what the full completed Bruticus looks like and have him on my shelf with Menasor as well as Devastator, and to compare them with Superion as well. Just to have all of them here is going to be so cool when I do the full video. Really, really exciting. So I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so leave a link in the description of that. Also leave links down below to Hasbro Pulse as well as Amazon if you guys wish to use those retailers instead of Big Bad Toy Store and any other retailers that I decide to put down there, just in case any of those are sold out. And so with that all out of the way, folks, that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.